Before we get on to the stories, I need to know more about you.
I'm 29 years old. I work as a private contractor for the NSA, for the CIA. I've worked in various jobs in the intelligence industry for the last 9 years. Listen, they're gonna come for me. And now that we've made contact, they're gonna come for all of you too.
How about we just start with your name, okay?
My name is Edward Joseph Snowden.
One man can stop the motor of the world.
What was it about this job that makes it more important than your life?
Snowden has been charged with espionage.
You have no idea what it's like to be accountable for other people's lives.
Intelligence services are on alert this morning over a new disclosure from Edward Snowden. The Guardian reports that documents leaked by the fugitive security contractor show the NSA monitored phone calls of 35 world leaders.
About Edward Snowden, then the movie that was released in 2016 provides much better context into this whole situation. And believe me, the Hollywood plays such a great role in the biographies of not only Edward Snowden, but there is another person just like him, Julian Assange, who was dragged out of the Ecuador embassy. Now, who was Julian Assange? That is a story for some other time, but he, just like Edward Snowden, who leaked over thousands and thousands of documents from the CIA and the NSA agency, Julian Assange called himself the man of knowledge, the man of everything. He handled out data from over 150 countries, classified data, and posted it on a website called WikiLeaks. Coming back to Snowden, now this movie, from the perspective of pure entertaining, someone who watches movies for the sense of joy, it gives you a sense of thrill, and it gives you that knowledge, and it gives you that information, that conspiracies that run deep in the organizations within the United States. But as a student of computer science, it gives you insight into the world of those things that you thought that were wrong, that you thought that they were not supposed to be true, or they were not supposed to be out in the plain sight. Plays a very good role in portraying the Edward Snowden that we have seen in movies, that we have seen in the news. Now, a man who have been of so much potential, working in this high organizations, getting well-paid salary jobs. What made him, what was the motivation behind all those fiasco that made the United States a pretty bad place? Washington Post reported that Edward Snowden had handed them over some 50,000 files and some 50,000 documents that, along with emails and conversations that said, and that included some things that the NSA person, Gordon Levitt, portray Ed Snowden as such a character that you fall in love with it. You fall in love with the idea what Edward Snowden did in his real life. Now, the motivation behind taking such a big step that would create a fiasco in the history of the United States and would ruin the image of the defense agencies and organizations that he himself worked in. The main motivation for that was the idea that the public lives were not safe. The privacy and the security.
What is that? Is that some video that she sent somebody?
No, this is live. Out of Paris.
What do you mean live?
Optic nerve? It's camera and mic activation.
I wish we could take credit, but the Brits wrote it.
Activation? Yeah, her laptop's off. Or it was, she just forgot to close it.
He leaked documents of worth 50 to 60,000 files, and some reports suggest, like those from Reuters and Al Jazeera, that the documents were over 200,000 documents that said and that portrayed the private conversation. The motivation behind Edward Snowden taking a decision that would ruin his life dates back to 2008, when he first thought of leaking documents from the NSA. Now, before doing that, it took 4 years, and what restrained him was from the decision that Barack Obama came into Snowden. It's been portrayed that he is a very intelligent person and he knows everything, but what was the cause, what was the main cause of all this fiasco that was created was the work ethics and the moral ethics, and the fact that NSA was involved in such a big operation to risk the lives of the American and the common people. Now, this does not even include American people. The fact that other foreigners were also included there, and this also told us something back some 6 years ago, that NSA and the CIA were capable of spying on anyone, anywhere in the whole world. They have the tools, they have the technologies to work and take the private space that you have in your own home. Snowden revealed in his documents to the different magazines and different news companies that the NSA was involved in spying, using spy cams, using the security cams that we have in our home, on our own homes, and the mobile camera that we use, the laptop cameras that we now cover with a sticky tape. Those were all used to spy on those people, and these things can be used to do it on us as well. These documents not only contain this information, but it also included information that the NSA had taken into account some private emails and private conversations between people. From the perspective of a computer sciences student, you can learn lots from this movie, and there are my wide number of things that you can learn from the fact that anything is possible in a world today. This event that occurred in the life of Snowden, and the fact that he is now considered more of a traitor by the defense agencies and the government of the United States and the people who call him a hero. He was the reason people thought that anything is possible. Anything, spying, the things that we consider as a dream, as an illusion, is now possible. And 6 years later, we now came to know that they have the tools, they have those softwares like the ones we saw in the movie Eagle Eye. They have huge systems and huge system softwares like artificially intelligent computer systems that can manage data and that can see data. Now, given the fact that the United States have 360 million people of population, how would NSA go through the data of 360 million people? Now, of course, not all of the people were being checked, but artificially intelligent softwares were used to manually or automatically go through data of different people, and the data that was sensitive were being fetched out. This game of distinguishing between the right and the wrong, the right people and the wrong people, the NSA and the CIA and the whole of the United States government were proven guilty of leaking data, of spying on people and stealing data from the common people. And that is why Edward Snowden chose to tell the American public, to tell the American people that this is what's being done, and this was done on a massive scale, and this is a thing that is possible in a world that we are living. From the perspective of watching this movie for recreational purposes, this gives you 1.5 hours of pure entertainment. Although my taste in movie changed quite drastically over the years, but when I rewatched this movie again months ago, being a CS student, it gave me lots of information into the world of computers and technology, and it sort of gave me the idea that all this incident that occurred almost 8-9 years ago, everything was possible back then. And now that we live in a world where we have flown off to Mars, and we have created supercars, we have created super rockets that can go to Mars. We have created technologies and scopes and cameras and things that we have not even imagined or dreamed of. Like this movie not only tells you about the things that happened back then, it also gives you a perspective of a student of computer sciences who works in a very regarded intelligence agency, that this field, the usage of this field in a good purposes is something that we have seen our whole lives, but this is also used for bad purposes. Even now, even today, in the world of cybercrime, the field cyber security that we are studying, or we are supposed to study in the years to come. And we have to make sure that the world is a better, healthy place. And the way that we defend it and the way that we are working towards it, not only physical beings working in our society to make sure that people are safe, cybersecurity is as much important. And we have to make sure that we come up with ideas and work generally together, that this thing does not happen, because in the game, in the wake, in the war of distinguishing between right and wrong, we might go across the limits in making things bad, and that bad things might go towards the public people, and we would wanna make sure that the public, the common liberties and the common freedom are not damaged. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope and wish you watch this movie and claim the question for yourself and answer it yourself, if Edward Snowden is a hero or if he's a traitor. Thank you very much.